Hello chat, how's it going? Hope you're all doing okay. As you can tell, today is the day. I've been looking forward to the stream all week, to be fair. I've really been looking forward to this. It's the mental health stream, and I've been so excited for this all week because I just think it's such a nice stream to do. Hang on, let me get face cam on because I'm talking to them right now. Hey, how's it going everyone? How you doing? Hope you're all doing okay. Hope you're all hydrated, keeping safe and eating food. If you're not, please do so now to make sure you're doing okay. Hope you're all doing alright and everything. Hope you're all doing okay. But yeah, hope you're all doing okay. So yeah, today is the day. I will be doing the mental health stream today about anxiety. I did put polls on my Instagram and everything. A lot of you seem to be really, really happy for me to do this. I just want to say thank you so much for allowing me to do this. I've wanted to do this for quite a while. I did do this on Instagram. But I just felt like I'd like to do it on here as well, just to sort of get it out to a few more people and everything. So yeah, are you guys still okay for me to go on with that? Are you guys still okay for me to go through with this? How are you doing? I'm not doing too bad, thank you. I'm not doing too bad. I'm doing pretty good. I'm gonna take the headphones off because there is no music playing, so I might as well take these off. Put them up there. I just feel like it'd just be easier for me to just sort of do this without music and everything, so I can talk to you guys a bit more personally, if you see what I mean, so I can just talk to you and everything. So yeah, first time out the headphones. This is new, I don't usually not wear the headphones, but here we are. But yeah, I'm doing well, thank you, Izzy. How are you doing? But yeah, if you guys are still okay for me to carry on with this, I will start straight away. I will just clarify now, I am not a professional in the mental health field, okay? I cannot professionally diagnose anyone. I am someone who wants to raise awareness for mental health, especially after the pandemic and quarantine. I feel like anxiety, along with so many other mental health aspects, I think have definitely risen in a lot of people. So I want to just raise awareness for that sort of thing. So if you guys are comfortable for me to carry on, I will start. But I just want to say I am not a professional in the field of mental health and everything. I cannot diagnose professionally. If you're looking for like professional help and things like that, I advise you to please talk to a mental health, like someone who is a professional in the mental health field, like a psychologist or a therapist or a counsellor, someone like that, okay? So please don't feel like I am a professional, because sadly I'm not. I mean, like I said, my DMs are always open if you guys need someone to talk to. I can support, I can listen, I can give advice, but I can't really do much more than that, I'm afraid, and I'm really sorry that I can't really do a lot. But yeah, are you guys still comfortable for me to carry on with this? Please just let me know, and then I can carry on and get this going, because I've been really excited to do this week, because I just think it's a really nice thing to do, and especially because it's our Mental Health Awareness Month. I just think it's just, you know, something nice to do. Personally, I'm cool with that. Alright, okay. So, today I'm going to be talking about what anxiety is, the differences between like an anxiety attack and like a bit like a panic attack as well. The symptoms of anxiety, like how it can affect individuals and things, and sort of like getting support and like ways to overcome the barriers of anxiety. Okay, so that's sort of like a bit of a thing of like what I'm going to be doing. I have a Word document in front of me. I've done some research and things. I did this in March. That was when my Instagram live was. So I've taken this from like the NHS website and things. I did a bit of digging. So I managed to get some information and things, because I do suffer with it, but I cannot sort of like give you enough information just from the top of my head, because sadly I can't do that. I need something in front of me so I can give you guys a bit more information than what I could just give on my own. Okay, so I'm going to sort to you guys what anxiety is, because I just feel like I've heard people just say anxiety is just worry, but it's not just worry, it's so many other things as well. So anxiety is like a feeling of uneasiness, worry or fear. Everyone feels anxious at times. Everyone does. Everyone feels anxious at least once in their life. It can be like adrenaline, like, you know, you're about to do bungee jumping for the first time. I would crap myself about doing that, but I'd still want to do it. So that can make you feel anxious. Cooking for the first time, going on a roller coaster for the first time. So everyone feels anxious at least once in their life. Anything can make you feel anxious. So yeah, everyone feels anxious once in life. However, those that may suffer or do suffer with anxiety will possibly like experience these feelings, and they can last for long periods of time, and that isn't fun, because it's sort of like, it feels like it's this cloud literally above your head, and it can feel impossible to shift, like it's there and it's going to stay there, and you're just sort of there like, please just go away, and it's really hard to shift. and that's when strategies come involved. That's when, like, obviously, like, your friends and your family can support you, like, therapists can support you, counsellors can support you, mentors can support you, people like that. That's why they're there, okay? So it's like this cloud that just does not go away. Not fun. Horrible. These feelings of anxiety and things that may last for a long period of time, they can be very strong. Humans, as humans, we are not really built to deal with very high levels of stress. We all have a limit. We're all very unique. We may all have different limits, but we are not built to deal with such high levels of stress. We are not built for that. Our bodies are not meant, our minds especially, are not meant to deal with, like, so much stress, anxiety, things like that. And it can be, when it gets to that limit, it can sort of go into overdrive, and it can think, we really need to calm down, like, we need to stop and take a minute, try and sort of run past this and try and carry on, because once that limit is reached, that's when things can really build up, like anxiety attacks and things like that, and that's not fun. I've had a few. They're not very fun to have, and I wouldn't recommend having one, but if you do have one, make sure we look into strategies and things to try and overcome these feelings of anxiety and things. And that's what strategies, and that's what mental health services are there for. They will give you these strategies and these basically just strategies, really, and like some things to overcome the barrier. When these feelings can become so strong, sometimes they can go into an anxiety attack, which they are really not fun. I remember the first time I had one, I was about 12 at the time, I think, and I didn't have a clue what was going on. I was like, I ain't got a clue what I'm feeling. I don't know. I was scared because I was like, I this is so foreign to me. I don't know what's going on. Once you've had the first one, you build sort of like a resilience to it, and you recognise the little the triggers. You know the strategies. You know the signs. So the first one will always be the worst one. Always, it will always be the worst. Like the first anxiety attack is always the worst one. The ones after that, once you start to build that that resilience, they can it helps try and sort of overcome the next ones, if that makes sense. If what I'm saying doesn't make sense, just let me know and I'll try and reword it another way, okay? But yeah, once you had the first one, it sort of like builds that resilience to the next one, and the one after that, and then the one after that. But the first one's always the worst one. The first one, like, if for anything, the first time is always the worst. And then once you have it like again and again and again, it can then sort of like, you then sort of build that resilience to it, and you build that sort of barrier, and you can think, right, no, I know how to deal with this now. It is not going to get as bad as it did the first time. And that's good, because then you're becoming stronger, and that's what you need with anxiety. You build that strength to push past it, to break through the barrier, go over that mountain. And that's good to have. It's good to have that strength. It is really good to have. It makes sense. You're doing great. Thank you, Izzy. I appreciate that. So I'm going to go into what an anxiety attack is, to sort of build, because a lot of people, I just don't feel, like I said, this is for educational purposes. A lot of people, I just don't feel like know what an anxiety attack is, and that's what this is here for. This is for educational things, to help you guys understand what it is, how you can help yourself, or someone you may know who may be struggling with this. So an anxiety attack is like an episode of intense panic or fear. They usually occur quite suddenly and without any warning, so they can sort of like hit you like a bus straight away. At times they can be an obvious trigger, and sometimes as well it can be a build up to some things as well, like the domino effect. Like one thing makes you anxious, but not too bad that you can overcome it, and then something else happens, it builds on that anxiety. Something else happens, it builds on the anxiety. Something else, and it builds up into this mountain of, like, this huge barrier, like this mountain of awful, just so much anxiety, so much feeling. You're thinking, oh my god, I can't get through this, I can't overcome this. You can. That is what support is there for. Okay, that is what support is there for. That is what your friends are there for, your family. That is what strategies are there for, to break through that barrier, to overcome that mountain. And the next time you have one, it will be a little bit smaller than what it was originally. Like I said, the first time is always the worst time. Anxiety attacks usually peak within 10 minutes. They very rarely last for longer than 30 minutes, but if they do, don't worry. Like I said, strategies, breathing exercises, they help you overcome that barrier, and you can sort of shrink down that feeling of anxiety, and then the next time it happens, it won't be as bad. However, during this time, this feeling can be so intense that it can feel like you're about to totally lose control. And that's not fun. Like I said, when I first had it, I was scared because I didn't know what was going on. I was having an anxiety attack, and I was thinking, oh my god, what's going on? Obviously, as I've got older, I realised what that was when I got diagnosed with anxiety. But it can feel like you're losing control, and that is common when you're having an anxiety attack. That is why strategies are there. That is why mental health services are there. That's why support is there. Sorry, it's always good to have someone there when you're having an anxiety attack. It's always good to have someone there to support you, so you're not on your own whilst you're struggling with this. Especially if it's your first time, it can feel really, really scary. So having someone there, can really just help you sort of like calm down and sort of just think, oh, I'm not on my own here. I can do this. I can get through this, and that's always good. It's always good to have someone there that helps you. The physical symptoms can be so frightening that people can think they could be experiencing like a heart attack. And again, that can make that worse, because you might be thinking, oh my god, I'm having a heart attack, which obviously then makes the anxiety worse. But you have to remember, you're having an anxiety attack. And if you've been feeling anxious and all of a sudden you feel like this, 99% of the time it is more than likely an anxiety attack. And like I said, it's good to have someone there to help and support you whilst you're feeling like this. So make sure you reach out and get some support and things, because having someone there can really help lower your heart rate and can reassure you to think, I'm not on my own here. And we've always got to remember as well that so many people suffer with anxiety as well. So many people do. And loads of people experience anxiety attacks. Loads of people experience panic attacks. People suffer with so many different things, and you're not on your own. And you have to remember that, especially when you feel so isolated with how you're feeling. You have to remember that I'm not on my own here. Thousands, if not millions of people on this planet experience what I'm experiencing right now. And that's sort of like, when you reach out, you can talk to people who have experienced these things as well, and it can help you realise, I'm not on my own here. There are people out there that experience the exact same things as me and actually relate to this, and can give me some advice as well, can give me advice. Having advice from people that have actually experienced these things can make a massive difference as well. Once the attack has calmed down and has subsided, you may worry about having another one, which is totally normal. I did the same thing. But like I said, breathing exercises, doing things that preoccupy your mind can help, because then you can forget about what made you anxious before, and you're just carrying on with one thing, and you're doing one thing, and it preoccupies your mind, and you forget about what was going on a couple of minutes ago with the anxiety. That's why it's good to have some strategies literally on your belt, behind you. It's good to have some strategies. People do fear of having an anxiety attack in public spaces, as it makes them feel quite far away, although they can't easily escape. But to reassure anyone who may have them in public, there is always someone there who will help you. Alright? Always. At least one person will come over and support you if you're having a panic attack or an anxiety attack. Always. Okay? They will always help you. Anxiety isn't necessarily a bad thing either. Don't always see it as a negative thing. Yes, anxiety is never going to go away, but it's not always a bad thing. It can spur you on, like with adrenaline and things. It can make you do something you wouldn't, like, go on a roller coaster or something. The adrenaline, it is a good thing, because then it gets you out there. It gets you doing something you never would have thought you'd be able to do. Then once you do it, you feel really proud of yourself. So it can be a good thing. It can be a good thing. It isn't always a negative. It can make us more aware of things and encourage us to solve problems. Anxiety starts to become an issue when it starts to impact your daily life. So you're thinking about it all the time. It's becoming more prominent. It's there. It may have gone from once a week to like 4 times a week, and then that's when it starts to become a bit more of an issue. Like you think, oh, okay, it's very prominent now, and you may be feeling anxious a lot, and that's when like you've got like websites and numbers you can reach out to and talk to. Like on my Instagram accounts, I have a support called Highlight. Not Highlight. I've got a highlight called Support. Sorry, I've got a highlight called Support, and it's got the green ribbon on it. And there's like so many numbers and so many websites you can visit, and they're there to help you. They are there to support. Okay, don't feel like you can't reach out to anyone, because you can. And reaching out isn't a weakness; it's strength, because you're admitting that you need help, which is strong in itself, and that it's not a weakness. It's what people are there for. They're there to help you and support you. Like, that's what this is for. This is for educational purposes and things, to try and give you guys some strategies if you need them. Don't feel embarrassed to have anxiety. You shouldn't feel embarrassed about it. So many people have it, and you might have a friend who has it, but you don't know. So don't feel embarrassed to have it, because it's nothing to be embarrassed about. Nothing. It shouldn't be embarrassed. You shouldn't feel embarrassed to talk about it. It should be spoken about more, along with so many other things. It should be spoken about more. And don't feel embarrassed to talk about it or anything, because it isn't a weakness or anything. It doesn't show you're weak at all. It shows that you're just struggling a bit and you just need that extra support, which is okay, because that's what people are there for. That's what your friends are there for, your family are there for. I'm there for DMs and everything. If you guys want someone to listen, if you want me to listen, want someone to listen to how you're feeling, or maybe a rant or anything, that's what mental health services are there for. They're there to support. Don't feel like you can't reach out, because of course you can. Of course you can reach out. Don't feel like you can't. So yeah, help and support is always available to you, no matter how long you felt like this or how bad the symptoms can be. So even if it's even if it hasn't lasted for very long, don't feel like, oh, it hasn't lasted very long, I don't think I can reach out. Because yeah, you can. You can reach out. Doesn't matter how long it's lasted. It doesn't matter. Of course you can reach out. It's absolutely okay to reach out. It's absolutely fine. It is okay to not feel okay, because we are human. We have emotions. We are allowed to have bad days. Of course we are. We are not built to just be positive all the time. That doesn't happen. There's going to be at least something that's going to impact us in a bit of a negative way, and it's okay to not feel okay. It's totally fine. It's okay to have a bit of a bad day. That's fine. That's totally normal. Like, if all you can do is just get out of bed and make yourself some breakfast and sit on the sofa, and that's how productive you think you can be today, that's fine. You got out of bed. You did it. Even if you just want to stay in bed, you just want to chill, that's fine too. The thing is, you're powering through, and that's brilliant. Shows your strength. So don't feel like you can't have a bad day, because of course you can. Of course you can have a bad day. There are support lines like the Samaritans. The Samaritans is very, very good. Your friends, family, tutors, teachers, etc. Please talk to someone you can trust. Please. Might be a teacher. I speak to my teacher a lot. One of my teachers. I speak to her a lot because she's a really good support for me. And you guys might do the same with a teacher or with a tutor, or maybe a work colleague or your boss or your manager. You might talk to someone like that because you can trust them, and that is okay. It's good to have that in the work environment, because then you feel more comfortable. Then you know there's someone you can talk to who will listen and who will try to support you no matter what. So I'm just going to have a bit of a drink break. Please make sure you're hydrated, by the way. Does that make sense so far? Is that all making sense so far? Sorry if I sound like I'm shouting, the mic's a little bit more closer to me today. But yeah, does that all make sense so far right now? Is that all making sense? I'm really thirsty right now. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to go into what the symptoms of anxiety are, so how they can affect individuals, because we're all different. Anxiety could affect my friend one way, it can affect me another way. It makes complete sense? Okay, good, I'm glad it does. So anxiety can affect an individual physically, mentally. So some of the mental effects can be a feeling of dread or fearing the worst. I am awful at that. I always fear the worst. I want to say, I'm going to quote something here. It does relate to this, don't worry. Sorry I'm not using chat much, it's just nice to listen to you. Thank you, I appreciate that. But yeah, that's absolutely fine, of course. Think of this more like a podcast. It is a bit more like a podcast, this one. It's very different to what I usually do. But yeah, that's absolutely fine. I didn't expect a lot of people to use the chat a lot today. That's absolutely fine. Don't feel like you have to chat every 5 minutes, because you don't. Just having you here is absolutely fine. But yeah, so a feeling of dread or fearing the worst. I think it was, I want to say, please correct me if I'm wrong saying this, is it Master Oogway that said this? It was something, I think it was him that said something like, yesterday was a mystery, yesterday was history, yesterday was history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That's why it's called the present. Enjoy today. Don't worry about tomorrow until tomorrow comes. On my starting soon screen, there's a bit that says take each moment as it comes. That is an attitude that I feel like everyone needs to adopt. It's hard because I struggle doing that. I always worry about what tomorrow will bring. I always have a fear of the unknown. All the time. Huge fear of the unknown. But worrying about tomorrow or next week or next month or next year will not help your anxiety. Taking each moment as it comes you'll find a decrease in your in the anxiety. You'll find a decrease. You will not feel as bad because you're taking each moment as it comes. It might throw a barrier your way, but you'll have the strategies to be able to overcome it. You'll just take it as it comes. And from where you worried about tomorrow, it might have seemed like a massive barrier. Whereas if you take each moment as it comes, you might not view it as a huge barrier as what you would have done originally. I mean, I've said this many times, I get anxious about streaming all the time. I try not to worry about how my stream's going to go. Because if I worry about it, it's going to go wrong. Because I'm going to be in a constant state of worry. But if I just sort of let my stream, take it as it comes in my stream, let my stream just do whatever. If something goes wrong, I can overcome it a little bit more easily. But if I worry about it beforehand, I can't really overcome it that well because I'll just be in a constant state of panic. I am awful for fearing the worst. But having the take each moment as it comes attitude, it does help. One of my friends at school recommended the take each moment as it comes to me. Because my mum used to say take each day as it comes. And even then sometimes that can be very, very daunting. Because even then it's just oh no, take all day as it comes. Just take each moment as it comes. And that can help. Take each moment as it comes. Another mental effect is feeling on edge or panicky. Again, sort of fearing the worst and things, and just sort of and if something goes wrong, you're going to feel very panicky about it. And feeling on edge or panicky is very common around anxiety. Difficulty concentrating. Again, I suffer with that in school. If I'm feeling anxious about a lesson, I won't be able to concentrate correctly. And I struggle with that. But like I said, having a little fidget toy, a little fidget ring like this one. I have a fidget ring. And it's got a little chain in the middle. You can just spin round like that. You can just spin around. And it makes no noise. It's literally just something you can just spin around. You can just play with. You just subconsciously just play around with your fidget ring while you listen. And that can help because it preoccupies you. It gives you something to do, but you're still listening. And then you've got something to do, and it sort of takes your mind off of what's making you anxious. Because you've just got this. And they're really, really good. Especially if you stress really easily and things, and if you've got really anxious easily like me. They're really, really good. You can get loads of these. I've got 2 more somewhere. Izzy gave one to me, and I also got one along with this one. So fidget rings are really, really good. Irritability, so again, having to fidget with something, not concentrating, things like that. Feeling detached from yourself or the world around you. So those are some of the mental effects that anxiety can have on an individual. Some of the physical effects are restlessness. So again, not being able to sit comfortably, not being able to just sit and chill, constantly having to move around, feeling dizzy or lightheaded. That's a very common one as well. Again, just breathing exercises, strategies. There are some strategies near the end that I will give to you guys, so you guys can maybe just try at least 1 or 2. Your friend might have a strategy that might work for them, but it might not work for you, and that's fine. That is totally okay. There is going to be at least one strategy in this world that's going to work for you. But your friend you might have a strategy that you might, works for you, but that might not work for your friend. And that's fine too. Everyone is different. And, we all deal with things in our own little way. If you find something like listening to music, for example, is a really good help for you, do that. Drawing, that might help you as well. You don't even have to do it like a portrait or anything. Just get a little coloured pen, just some little swirls on a piece of paper. It preoccupies your mind. You do something. I was going to say something. It's totally gone from my head now. Oh yeah. Don't be afraid to try out different strategies. That's what they're there for. Don't be afraid to try out different strategies. Doing group therapy. That can be really, really good as well because you can hear other people's stories and other people's strategies. And you might think, oh, I never thought of that one. And you can go home and give it a try. And you might think, oh, I really like that. That's really helpful. Do that. Give that a try. Don't feel ashamed to, don't feel shy to try different strategies because that's what they're there for. You can try different strategies. That's exactly what they're there for. Wobbly legs or pins and needles in your hands and feet. I get this all the time. And also as well, you can sometimes get the bouncy knee syndrome where your knee won't stop doing that. I get that a lot, especially in school lessons as well. I'll get the bouncy knee syndrome. And I just won't be able to stop bouncing my knee. And that's very common. That is so common. You might do it subconsciously without realising. And I do that. I do it subconsciously without realising. Shortness of breath or hyperventilating. Heartbeat, things like that. Very fast heartbeat. Shortness of breath, things like that. Again, breathing exercises are very, very good for that. Breathing exercises, 100%. Heart palpitations, again, the noticeably strong, fast heartbeat. breathing exercises, maybe taking 5 minutes out. Take as long as you need. It might not even be 5 minutes, it might be 2, could be an hour. However long you need, take that time out to, forget about what's going on, mentally take yourself out of that zone, do some exercises, do some strategies, and then come back, and then you might be able to carry on a bit more, a bit more effectively than you would have done before. Having a couple of minutes out can be very, very helpful, because I do that. And so taking a couple of minutes out of the situation can really, really help. But maybe just sitting there, maybe just sort of like with your hands with like your head in your hands possibly, and just focus on your breathing with your eyes closed, like focus on your breathing, in through the nose, out through the mouth, or in through the mouth, out through the mouth, whatever works for you. Just concentrate, nice and easy breaths. Don't take it slowly, and then come back to that zone when you feel comfortable. There is no time limit. Alright, there is no time limit. Again, with like panic attacks and things, doing the 5 senses technique can help. Because I read about that somewhere. It's like the 5 things you can see, and I can never remember the order it goes in. But it's obviously all your 5 senses, like the touch, the hearing, the sight, the smell, and the taste. And it helps that person who may be suffering with a panic attack, or even an anxiety attack. It might help with that as well. Take their mind off of what they were anxious about before, and just sort of like concentrate on what's going on now. And then there is no set time for them to answer the questions. There is no set time at all. And it's just breathing, take it as it comes, answer the questions when you're ready. It's like 5 things you can see. Don't stress yourself about it, just take as long as you need. If it takes half hour, it takes half hour. If it takes an hour, it takes an hour. Do not feel ashamed that it takes that long, because it's for you. And if it helps you, do it. If it helps you, then that's what you need to do. Nausea is another one that can really affect. There's a physical effect of anxiety. I suffer with nausea as well. I suffer with nausea. That's one of my effects of anxiety. When I was about 12, 13, I remember I used to be so bad with my anxiety, it can actually make you physically sick. And that happened to me quite a lot. I've built that resilience around it now, because I've overcome that barrier, and I've managed to have strategies and things and become stronger. So I'm not like physically sick anymore due to anxiety, which I'm really happy about, because that's not nice. It's awful. I don't have a phobia of it. It's just not nice. It's horrible. But yeah, I have that sort of resilience against it. I have those strategies. So I'm not physically sick with anxiety anymore. Like I said, first time, always the worst. After that, you build that resilience, you grow the strength, you manage to get through it. And that's brilliant. And that's what happened with me and my nausea feeling with anxiety. I built that resilience against it, and I managed to overcome it. And I've stopped being physically sick from anxiety for quite a while now. About a year-ish, something like that. Quite a long time. Well, I'm really proud of myself for that, because my anxiety goes straight to my stomach. That's my weakest point with anxiety, and that's when I'd be physically sick. And I'm really proud of myself now, because I'm not nearly as bad as what I used to be. And like I said, first time I was worse. I had anxiety attacks. You build that barrier, you build that strength, you build that strength, you overcome that barrier, that's what I tried to say, and you have the strategies, and you can overcome it. You have that strength. You can go straight through it and go, no, you are not going to be as bad as what you used to be, or what you were the first time, because you've built that resilience, you've built that strength, and that's amazing. That's amazing to have, and it is so important to have as well. It's vital. It's a necessity to have strength against it, because then the next time you have it, it's not going to be as bad. I'm not saying I'm not saying you're never going to have an anxiety attack again, because the likelihood of you having another one could be quite high. But like I said, it won't be as bad as the first time. You have that strength. You'll have those strategies behind you. You'll have those exercises. You'll have the support, and you'll be able to overcome it without it getting as bad as the first time. And that's always amazing to have. That is so important to have. Needing the toilet more often or less often, like you'll hear people say, "Oh, I really need the toilet," and things like that with anxiety. You might need to go to the toilet a lot with anxiety, and that's very common. So it might go to your stomach. It could do whatever. Anxiety is so different. It can give people headaches. It can make people have pains all over their body. It can make you just, like I said, have pins and needles. I think for some people it can go to their eyes. I think it was my teacher told me it goes to his eyes if you feel stressed. I'm not sure if that means like your eyes dry out, but I've never had that before. But yeah, everyone's unique. It goes to so many different places to everyone. No two of us are the same. It can affect so many different places, like all over your body, one part of your body, two parts of your body. It can affect so many places. But needing the toilet more or less often is very, very common with anxiety. So common. Sweating, like feeling quite clammy and horrible. That is another one. Sleep problems, like what's it called? Oh, it's gone out of my head now. Pardon me. That's going to really annoy me now. Yeah, not being able to sleep as easily. Staying up quite late, not being able to sleep. It was in my head. Now it's gone. And that's really annoyed me. But yeah, sleeping problems. You only probably get a couple of hours of sleep than you normally would, and that's because your mind might be racing with so many thoughts. And your mind just might not be able to switch off. And that is why strategies are such a good help. That is why they are there. Try out different strategies because it can help relax your mind, calm your mind. It can help with your sleep. It's going to really annoy me because I know there's going to be people screaming at me what this word is. And I've forgotten what it is. And that's really annoyed me. It'll probably come to me in a minute. Anxiety attacks and panic attacks as well. Physical. Obviously we've spoken about an anxiety attack and things. Not nice. Really horrible. But after the first time, you'll know how to overcome the second time. Anxiety can also affect individuals' behaviour as well. For example, you may feel unable to go to work or see friends. Avoiding situations like this can give short-term relief. Short-term. It does not give long-term. After that, the anxiety can often return. Cutting yourself out and isolating yourself is the worst thing you can do. I watched Heartstopper, right, about 100 times, and the art teacher says something to Charlie, and I remember him saying something like the loneliness can be just as bad. And isolating yourself does not help. It can only make it worse. It can give you low self-esteem, and it builds your anxiety even more because you will just feel so lonely. And that is the worst thing you can do. I've more than likely done that before, and I regret doing it. It's not a good thing to do, cutting yourself off. It is not a good thing at all. Don't isolate yourself from people because people are there to support you. Don't isolate yourself from people. That's one of the worst things you can do. Avoiding only feeds the feeling of danger, which is not good for the individual, as they never discover whether their fears are true or not. So avoiding social interactions and things, it only feeds the anxiety. It only feeds it and it only makes it grow. Having strategies and hanging out with like your friends and everything, and overcoming it can shrink the anxiety to the point where it's this teeny weeny little thing, a tiny little thing. You can't hear it. You know it's there, but you can't hear it, and you ignore it. It's a part of you. Anxiety does not define you. It's a part of you. Along with like depression and other things as well that you may be suffering with. It's a part of you. It's never going to go away. It's annoying, but it's a part of you. And it does not define you. And it's just, you'll be able to shrink it. It's this teeny weeny little thing, tiny. You won't be able to wear it. You'll know it's there, but it's not going to stop you because you're not feeding it and you're overpowering it. You're pushing through, and that is a big strength. That's so strong and that's so amazing. That's so good, and by doing that, it'll just become smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. I said it's never going to go away, which is annoying because it's not like the common cold where you catch it and then it goes. It's something that stays with you, and it's annoying because it's like, oh, can you please just go away? Sadly, it doesn't. But you can shrink it down to the smallest size possible, the size of an atom. Size of an atom. You will not see it, but you will know it's there, but you just will not be able to hear it, and it's not going to stop you because it's tiny, and you've built that strength against it, and you've built the barrier against it, and you'll be able to you can get through it, and it will just not matter to you anymore. If you are someone who is surrounded by it and is feeling so low due to anxiety and maybe other things as well, I want to say now, You can get through this, okay? You can power through this. If you need support, reach out. Don't feel like you can't. Reach out, get the support, get those strategies, get those exercises in, practice on those strategies and things. Have those sessions, have those therapy sessions and things. That is not a weakness. It is a strength. Is this live? Yes, it is. But building that barrier against it is such a strength. So yeah, don't feel like you won't get through this, because you will. You will get through this. At the time being, right, it might be really bad, and you might think, I can't do this. You can, because I have felt the same. You can get through this. You can do this. It might just take a while, but after a period of time, you can get through this. You can do it. You can do this. You will be able to get through it. I promise you, you will. Anxiety disorders and things can, it's not just anxiety, it's like, there's so many others as well. It can include like a panic disorder, which is like having regular panic attacks for no apparent reason. So like the breathing exercise, the 5 senses exercise, and that's why support is there. Support is so important. Post-traumatic stress disorder, also known as PTSD, is developing anxiety maybe after a quite stressful or frightful experience. You hear like a load of war heroes, soldiers, they do struggle with PTSD because of what they've seen. That is why support is there to overcome and to build against those nightmares and that feeling of PTSD. Is to build against it and to shrink it down. It probably will never go away, but it will. You can shrink it. Hello. OCD is another one as well. Having recurring unpleasant thoughts like obsessions, and performing certain routines to relieve anxiety as well. I feel like there's a misconception then with OCD. People just think OCD is just cleaning all the time and being tidy. No, it is like maybe before bed, you might do something, otherwise you feel like something bad's going to happen. And that's not nice. I've had that before. That's not nice at all. Like I said, support is there for a reason. Do not feel ashamed to reach out, because that is what the mental health services are there for. Your friends, your family, the Samaritans. That's what they're all there for. They're there to support and help you. Generalized anxiety, which is like feeling anxious or worried most of the time. Yeah, I can relate to that 100%. But like I said, it all comes down to managing to overcome these obstacles with good strategies. That's what this all comes down to. And when my friends are super religious, I have no access to my friends, and I can't help them to. How do I support them? Oh, okay. So when my friends find it super religious, I mean, the best thing you can do with your friend is to make them feel welcomed. As you're obviously their friend and everything, and like I said, I'm not a professional in this field, so I'm so sorry. I've never been asked that one before. I feel like what you can do is accept them, make them feel as welcomed, and be there for them, and support them, and have them feel that acceptance, if you see what I mean. Have them feel that welcome that they might not get around other, obviously their family and things, and just be there for that individual. Try and be. Oh God, I'm trying to be as helpful as I don't think this is really helping. I'm so sorry if this isn't helping you. All I can probably say is be there for them. Try and support them the best way you can. Like, be there to listen. Be there to give advice. Make them feel that welcome, like comfortable, things like that. Do you see what I mean? Sort of like. Oh God, I'm really sorry if that's really not helpful. I'm so sorry. All I can probably say is be there for them when they are like. Be there to listen. If they need someone to talk to, they know you are there. You are their friend. They know you will support them, as much as you possibly can. Obviously there are obviously like websites that maybe they could try out if they were comfortable to. I'm not saying they have to if they don't want to, but if they wanted to, they could try out maybe some websites and things they could like visit, some LGBT websites. But that is hard when obviously your family don't. I get you, but yeah, it's really difficult. I'll try my best. Thank you. Yeah, no worries. I'm so sorry if that's not very helpful, but yeah, I think being there to listen and things, as they know you're their friends, I think is a massive help to them, because they may feel quite lonely with how, obviously with their sexuality and things, with how obviously their family and things like that, they might feel quite lonely. But having you there as someone who accepts them and is like welcoming to them and things like that that's probably a big support for them anyway. Knowing that you are there and you accept them is probably a big thing for them anyway. Maybe talking to them about reaching out for support might also help as well. So maybe just talk to them about that. So I'm not saying they have to if they don't want to. They only do that when they're ready. But if they want to, just talk to them about that. You might be able to maybe just like say, how about maybe try this website, look into it, see how you feel. But yeah, knowing you're there, I think is probably a very good support for them anyway. So yeah, just try and support as much as you can. Obviously, they know you're not going to have all the answers, but try and support the best that you can. That's all really I can say, to be honest. I'm really sorry if that's not very helpful. But I will try and answer as many questions as I can, okay? Another thing like anxiety disorders can include is phobias. It's like an overwhelming fear of a specific object, place, situation or feeling, like arachnophobia. I have arachnophobia. I'm not good around spiders. That triggers my anxiety straight away. If they're small spiders, that's fine. It's like the big house spiders you can get. They terrify me. I don't know why. I don't know where I got this phobia from. I ain't got a clue. They just scare me. They terrify me, and I really don't know why. Pete the spider. I mean, Pete's okay. Pete is okay. Pete can vibe, right? He's teeny, and he doesn't bother anyone. It's the big house spiders that scare me. Oh, the big house spiders are awful. They terrify me. I don't know why. Because I know they're not venomous here in the UK. I know they're not venomous or anything, but they just scare me. And this is what puts me off going to Australia. I don't think I could go because of the spiders. I just feel like I'd be living in fear if I went there. But I want to go because it's such a nice place and I'd really like to go. But phobias are definitely one that can trigger like anxiety and things. Yeah. Getting support and ways of overcoming obstacles. So here's some like ways you can sort of help you with your anxiety and things. Is like group therapy sessions. Talking to people that have experienced what you have or different experiences that can give you advice on how to overcome anxieties and things. They're really good because it gets your story out there. It makes you connect to other people. That's really, really good to do. One-to-one counselling as well. You might not be comfortable doing group therapy, and that's absolutely fine. Hey, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, one-to-one counselling. If you're not ready for group therapy, which is absolutely fine, try one-to-one. I have one-to-one, and I find it's really helpful because you can be honest with this person. So they are professional, and they can give you some strategies or some things to take home to try and like complete and everything. I mean, there's one thing I can probably say is have a diary and keep weekly updates. Like at the end of every week, write down what went well for you, how you felt, how like what your overwhelming feeling, what your feeling overall was. One thing you struggle with, how you overcame that thing, and one target. And then every week, fill it in. And then at the end of every week, you can look back and see and think, oh wow, I've come really far from last week. Because like one week you might be feeling really down, really anxious, and then the next week you might have a bit of a turn. You know, things might start looking up, and you can look back and think, I've really come far from last week, and that's brilliant. And I think it's really, really good to have that because like you might say you started in January this year, and in January next year, once you finish the entire thing, get like a yearly one. Once you finish the whole year, you can look at it next January and think, I've come so far in a year. And that's going to be amazing because you'd feel so proud of yourself because you'd be like, wow, from what I felt before to how I feel now is massive. And that should be something that you should be really proud of. Music therapy is one as well. I mean, I listen to music quite a lot because it helps me distract myself from like things that like, you know, made me anxious. I listen to music whilst I do some art. I listen to music whilst... Sorry, pardon me. I listen to music whilst doing a thumbnail for my VODs. I listen to music and just chill on my bed for a bit. Because music for me is a bit like, it just helps my brain just switch off. Again, it might not help you guys. Something else might help you guys. But for me personally, music is a huge escape for me. Music's a really, really good escape for me. And I do it all the time. Every day I listen to a bit of music. Breathing exercises, like I said, doing the controlled breathing. That can be really, really helpful, because then you can calm yourself down. It helps your heart rate slow, and it can regulate your heart rate again. Because like I said, us humans, we are not built to deal with such high levels of stress. We are not built for that. We're really not. Because our body can go into overdrive, our minds can go into overdrive, which is when strategies like this, especially breathing exercises, can really, really help. Especially when you feel an anxiety attack coming on, or a panic attack. Doing breathing exercises really, really help. They're really, really good, because I do them quite a lot. Mindfulness as well, like getting into a comfortable position, like maybe just lying on your bed. Just lying on your bed, breathing in and out, with some calm music going on, sitting in a comfortable position, and just taking a couple of minutes just to chill, relax, bring your mind, calm your mind, bring yourself back, and that can make a huge difference, especially before you go to bed, because then it stops you from, stops your mind from buzzing every 5 minutes, and it can stop it from it stops it altogether, and you can just focus on one thing, and it can help you sleep. You might find your sleep might improve. Like I said, these might not work for everyone, but they might work for some people. You don't know. Physical exercise, like walking. Just a bit of walking. Because that releases a happy hormone. Walking. Walking's really good. If you've got like a dog or something, walk your dog. Go out for a walk. Go with a friend. Listen to some music. Maybe just go to the gym for a bit. Because exercise releases the happy hormone and things, and it can really, really help. And again, it helps your mind focus on one thing and not 10 million other things. And then when you go back home, you feel a bit like, oh, feel better after that. And then doing something you enjoy, like maybe writing. You might like writing, little books or something, or like little comics. You might enjoy reading. You might enjoy drawing. You might enjoy modelling. You might do modelling clay stuff. I mean, I've been working on something to put around my pride flag up there. Yeah, there. I've been working on doing little hearts with pastels, and that really helps me, because again, it distracts my mind. It really helps distract me from how I was feeling originally and what was going on in my mind. Now, after doing that, I feel a lot more calm, if that makes sense. And it's just like a whew sort of feeling, like a weight's been lifted. So doing that can really, really help. I feel like that's all I've got on my Word document and everything. Is there anything I've missed, or any questions you guys might have that you guys want to ask or anything? I'm just going to say this now, like I said at the start, I'm not a professional, so I won't have the answers, but I can try and give advice to the best I can. So is there anything you feel like I've missed, or any questions you guys might like to ask? Just let me know now. Say hi, Bella. I don't know if I've missed anything. I feel like I might have done by accident. If you've got any questions or anything, just ask. Like I said, I might not be able to answer them 100%, but like I said, that is what mental health professionals are there for. They are there to obviously go more in depth with things. I can give advice. I can listen. Like I said, my DMs are always open if you need someone just to have a bit of rant to, or just need someone to listen. I can support to the best I can. I can give advice to the best I can. Sadly, that is all I can do, I'm afraid. I apologise for that. That's all I can do. I'm not a professional, so I can't really do anything else. That annoys me, because I'd like to help you guys more, but personally, I think you covered so much, probably really helped lots of people. I hope I have, because this is exactly what this is there for. It's just educational, and I just want people to understand what it is, and just give some strategies and things, and maybe just give some to a friend of theirs or someone who may be struggling. But thank you, Izzy, I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm sorry, I know it was a little bit of a short stream today. And I know it's very different to what I usually do, but because it's Mental Health Awareness Month, I thought I might as well do it this month, because I've wanted to do it for quite a long time. I've already done it on Instagram, but I thought I want to do it on Twitch so it gets to more people. And obviously this does go up on, my VODs do go up on YouTube as well. No names will be mentioned or anything. That's why the chat isn't on my screen, because if someone says something they don't want, like, me to say their username, they won't go. It will not be on there, alright? So your username will not be published or anything on YouTube. So feel free to ask any questions or anything like that, so I'll give you guys a couple of minutes. And yeah, if there's nothing else, I will end the stream. But I really hope this has helped some people. I really do, because this is exactly what this is there for, just to help people. I will do more of these as well, not just in May. I will do them in other times of the year as well, if you guys want me to do one. I won't just do mental health ones either. I can do one on pronouns, transgender, because I am a transgender individual, and I feel like maybe raising awareness about transgender people and like saying what it is and everything. I am more than happy to do that. So if you have any suggestions, DM me on Instagram, and I'll see what I can do. Yeah, don't be afraid to ask anything. Don't be afraid to ask anything at all. But that was good. I was really looking forward to doing this all week. I was really looking forward to this, because now I could just sit down and talk with you guys. And I like doing that, because I feel like I'm in my element, because I'm all for mental health awareness and things. So I feel like I'm really in my element here. I'm gonna guess no one's got any questions, because the chat's gone quite quiet. I'm gonna guess no one's got questions. I could be completely wrong. Yeah, you did really well, so thank you, mate. No worries, thank you so much. But yeah, thank you. But I get anxious streaming all the time. But I feel proud of myself once I've done them, because it's an achievement for me. It's a big achievement, so I feel proud once I've done them. I'm gonna check and make sure no one's DM me any questions or anything they might not be comfortable to share on Twitch. But if you guys feel well, you want to ask me a question but not on Twitch, my Instagrams are QueenFan001, QueenFanLive, or FanArt001. If you just search up QueenFan001, all my Instagrams are in my bio. So if you guys have any questions but you don't want to ask on Twitch, but you want to ask me personally, you guys can do that. You guys are allowed to do that. I'm not going to have a go if you guys just want to do that. That's absolutely fine. Yeah, it's QueenFan001. It's my exact same as my Twitch name, so it's really easy to find me. So yeah, if you guys have any questions that you don't want to ask on Twitch, but on just DM me, that's absolutely fine. You are more than welcome to. Is anxiety disorder caused by stuffing everything down deep? I mean, anxiety disorder can be caused by many, many things. I mean, I think stuffing everything down deep can make things... It can make it worse. It can make the anxiety worse than what it can be, if you see what I mean. And not talking about how you're feeling can cause it sort of like plummet a bit, if you see what I mean. But anxiety can be caused by many things. It can be caused by PTSD. It can be caused by anything. I mean, I'm guessing by stuffing everything down deep, it can be a contributing factor, because you're not being open about it and everything, and you're dealing with all these things, and you're not obviously like getting support for it or anything. I feel like that doesn't help. I'm guessing that probably can be a contributing factor, but I know that can make it worse, 100% by doing that, because I did that before. But now as I'm getting support, it's definitely helped me a bit, because I feel like I'm more open about things now, if you see what I mean. But yeah, I feel that can probably be a contributing factor, 100%. Yeah, I feel that can be a contributing factor. I hope that's helped. Like I said, I'm not a professional or anything. I can't give all the answers, I'm afraid. I do apologise for that. I wish I could. But I hope that's kind of helped in a way. But I do feel that probably is a contributing factor to anxiety. But it can be caused by so many things. And obviously things can then make it worse as well. I hope that's helped in a way. But I think I did enjoy doing today's stream. I did enjoy it, because I just like I'm there. I like helping people, if you see what I mean. I like helping people, and I like trying to help people to the best I can. I think they're interestingly related. Yeah. I think I think you're probably right. Yeah, I don't think you're wrong with that one. I think you probably are right. Yeah. because I wouldn't be surprised if that can cause it as well, and obviously doing that can obviously make it worse. Yeah, I think you're probably right with that one. I mean, obviously, if you're curious about that or anything, you can always ask someone who's obviously a bit more professional in this field and everything. You can always ask if you're curious about that, obviously. But yeah, I think you're probably right in saying that. I don't think you're wrong. I do think you're right saying that. Is there any more questions, or are you guys okay? So like I said, Instagram, same as my Twitch name, ScreamFan001. When this goes up on YouTube and everything, my Instagram links will be in the description. So you can find me on there. And my Instagram links are on my YouTube page as well and on my Twitch page, so you can find me quite easily. So if you guys want to ask anything on here publicly and just want to ask me on Instagram, you are more than welcome to. Like I said, I might not have all the answers, but I will try my best. I will obviously try and support and try and give an answer as best as I can. But yeah, is there any more questions, or do you think is everyone alright? So don't be afraid to ask, it's absolutely fine. Like I said, I'm just a streamer at the end of the day, just trying to raise awareness for things and everything. So all stuffing everything down deep too. I mean, some professionals can also have counsellors as well. Our psychologists can have their own psychologists and things as well. So they could be. You don't know. You don't know. Yeah, so some psychologists might have their own psychologists as well. Some mentors might have their own mentors. Some counsellors might have their own counsellors. You don't know. You never know. You never know. I really wanted to do that. I'm glad I got this stream done. I really am. I want to say thank you to those that joined as well. I want to say thank you for that. And thank you for just being there, just listening and things. And I'm glad I did it. I really am. And like I said, I will do more of these if you guys want me to. That's absolutely fine. I will do more if you guys want me to. Yeah, I'm sorry it's a bit more of a shortish sort of stream in a way, and it's very different to what I usually do, but I feel like I like to sort of do different things on Twitch. I don't just want to play Minecraft every 5 minutes. I want to do like Roblox. I want to do like just chatting streams. I'll do an art stream possibly. Yeah, I like to do so many different things on Twitch because I have so many ideas that I'd like to do. I don't just want to stick to one thing because I don't like doing that, because then I'll get bored of it and I won't see the point in doing it. So I like doing different things, if you see what I mean. But yeah, so if no one's got any questions, I will end stream. But thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I'm sorry I'm not a professional or anything. I cannot diagnose, I can't give professional advice or anything, but I can give support and give strategies and things like that. So yeah, I will end stream. I'm glad for the people that joined. Thank you so much. I'm glad I've done it. Obviously, this will go up on YouTube and everything. People's usernames will not obviously be mentioned or anything like that. So don't worry. But yeah, any questions you guys have or anything, just DM me on Instagram. That's absolutely fine. And yeah, so I want to thank you for coming to the stream. I appreciate that. Izzy, thank you so much for the message in the chat as well. Cornelia, mate, you did great. Thank you for the stream. No worries. I'm glad I did it. But yeah, it's no worries at all. It's no worries. But yeah, thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate it. I will do more of these at some point as well. Just let me know what you guys want me to try and do. I'll do some research on it like I have with this one. And then I'll do a stream on it, and yeah. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Alright, thank you guys so much for coming. I really appreciate it. I'm really glad I've done this as well, and I've really hoped it's helped some people out as well. Yeah, thank you guys so much for coming. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next stream, alright? See you guys later.